What's going on, guys? So, hey, really fast before we get started, I see we've got a couple people streaming in already. Make sure to go if you're on Facebook, hit streamyard.com/Facebook so we can see who you are. And then start filling up the chat. Let us know where you're coming from, what markets you are, who do we have here right now. And I did my homework, so we should be ready to go. So hopefully we don't have any issues with sharing our screen again. So cool. Hey, Kirsten. Kirsten, you got to follow the rules too. Go in there to streamyard.com/Facebook. So awesome. So we'll get started. We've already got quite a few people in here, so I'm pretty excited. We've got everything moving, and we're just going to dive straight into it here in a little bit. Anybody else want to plug in the comments? Let's know who's here. Where are you coming from? What markets are you in? Let's just see it. And give me 2 seconds. I'm going to remove myself from the camera just for 1 second so I can get my computer or my screens up and running. But start filling up the comments. Let's see it. All right, we got Luke. Welcome back, Luke. Excited to see you. Working in Tampa, love it. All right, we have somebody else who said hi. Don't know who that is. Again, everybody, please look right here. Go to streamyard.com/Facebook. If you click on that link, if you go through that, what it'll do is it'll give StreamYard the access to be able to see who you are, so we can actually see your comments when you go to do it. So that way I can actually call you by name and see what we can do to help you out. So cool. We have Francisco from Arizona. Love that. Francisco, for me, I just see it as Facebook user. So make sure to go there and hit that. I know this time you put your name in the actual comment, so that helps, but love it. All right. So let's dive into this thing. I don't want to waste too long. But again, I'm just going to leave this up on the screen for a little bit. If you are accessing it from Facebook, please go. Hey, Robert, welcome back again. If you're accessing this from Facebook, make sure to go to streamyard.com/Facebook. That way they have access to see it there. So without further ado, let's do this thing. All righty. Hey, Lourdes. Lourdes is like my rock star. She helps run my entire life. So if you guys see Lourdes, give her a ton of love. So, all right. So, hey guys, today we finally have the screen share open. It's running again. I don't know exactly what happened last week, but I'm going to dive straight into it. And today we're going to focus on at the very top of the funnel, because if you guys realize, all of wholesale real estate, whatever it is, whatever sales industry that you are in, the whole concept, right, is always some type of funnel, right? So you're going to have your lead generation. There's a ton of different leads that are coming in there. And maybe we should break this out at some point. But you're going to have your lead generation. There's going to be a ton of different leads in there. Not all of those are qualified. So then you go down and you're going to qualify out some more through lead management or something else like that with acquisitions. Then it'll go to your acquisitions. Your acquisitions will even close less of those, and those actually become the contracts that you have ready to go. And then from there, I would even say that further beyond that is then dispositions, and how many of those can they actually dispo for you to be able to get it to a close where everybody gets paid. The bottom of the funnel is where people actually get paid. So to start us off, I'm trying to go A through Z to get everybody up and running and get them actually started, so you guys are actually producing results within your business. So I'm going to walk through from the very top today. If I was starting out brand new again, what would I be doing differently? How would I start out? And really my goal is to help everybody understand what you can do to start actually with ideally with very minimal budget. So starting out, the cheapest way to be able to do it, to find leads to bring in, would be on market stuff. I know one of my mentors, Pace, I think I'm wearing my Mastermind sweatshirt right now from Pace and my Mastermind with him. One of my mentors, Pace, he's doing his elephant challenge right now. We're actually elephant leaders in that group as well too. Highly recommend you go sign up for that too. There's a ton of cool resources being taught in there and being able to help everybody get up and running as well. I'm also going to teach a little bit different. I know that group is focused primarily through using Privy and those types of softwares. We might touch on some of that here, but I also wanted to touch on some other resources to be able to help people get up and running that don't require any type of subscription. So if I was starting out with $0 in my bank account, trying to get started and up and running, this is how I'd be doing it. So let's hear in the chat really fast too. Make sure to keep the chat active and let me know what you're thinking, what I can do to best help you. And if there's any questions that pop up, make sure to plug them in there too, because that'll help us out and let us know if there's something I need to clarify better. A lot of this stuff has been things that I've done for so long that, to be honest, some of them I might brush over because I'm just not thinking about it. So, but we're going to start off with good old Zillow. Love or hate Zillow, you know what I mean? It's a pretty darn good place to start. I know we had in here, Luke, you said you're in the Tampa market. So, I mean, we'll just do this one for you. So we're going to go to Tampa. And then I'm going to show you how I'd go about finding properties that I would start to call. So if we're going to Tampa, Florida, my first thing is I'm going to go in here. I'm not looking for solds. I'm looking for sales. So we're going to go in here. We're going to remove our boundary. And our whole goal with this right now is to find properties that are motivated. There you go, Luke. I think I gotta plug that one on the screen. So my whole goal with this whole process would be to find properties that I have the highest chance of closing and working with those realtors and with the sellers to be able to make something happen. I don't know if it's blurry to anybody else. I know we have a comment that just said, is it blurry? I mean, obviously on my screen, it looks great, but hopefully it's not blurry for you guys. So let me know if that's an issue with somebody else, and maybe there's something else we got to fix in the settings. So, so anyways, we're going to keep identifying those properties that work and the things that we can do to kind of narrow that list down. So that way we're spending time with the most qualified individuals and trying to make this as seamless as possible. So if I go through here, there's a couple tricks that you can use. So one, if there's certain areas of the market that you really like let's say, to be honest, I don't know a ton about the Tampa market. We don't do a whole lot in that area. We dispo a lot of deals in the area, but I don't really buy a whole lot down here. So I don't know the areas to be targeting super hard. Let's say that you're focused just on this little peninsula section. So you're focused on St. Petersburg. Then you could go in here, you could draw a little line. You're going to hop up, go through this whole section. There you go. And as soon as you hit apply, we're going to be just looking at the properties within this section. So it gives you a chance to be able to focus on just a certain target area. If you want to be there we go. Same piece. All right. So if you want to be very focused and broad, that's totally fine as well. If you're just trying to look for anything and everything. And if you don't know your market very well just yet, that's totally fine. Sometimes it is, I'm going to shotgun approach at first. And as time goes on, as you get to know your area, we could talk about some other ways that you can highlight certain areas of the market too. And maybe we'll save that one for Friday. We'll do some market research to help the people out. But I want to first get you guys up and running so you're actually putting offers out there, trying to do something that's going to create an ROI for you so you can actually get some money flowing back through. So we can go through here. We can set up our boundaries. You can see we've got something we're focused just on this peninsula just right now. Again, I know nothing about this market, so you guys are seeing it from the very beginning. And this is also the time when usually everything fails. So hopefully that doesn't happen. All right, so we're going to go through here. We're going to do some filters. Let's say that I'm targeting everything just 3 bedrooms or more. What that will do is, and actually one thing that I've seen happen a lot of times, people say 1 bedroom or more. What that will do is remove some of the land. The other option that you could do is you could just go up here to home type. We're going to get rid of any lots and land. We also don't want to look at multifamily is great. Condos are a little bit hard if you're doing a wholesale. Apartments can be a little bit harder, so I'm going to remove out those. And then just because manufactured can be difficult, you really got to get those at a pretty deep discount. I think starting out, I would focus on just houses and maybe multifamily. Every once in a while, you come across a multifamily that can be a really good deal. Okay. And if you need help with multifamily, there's a little bit of a different comping structure, but reach out to myself or my team. We have Kirsten. She was on here last week with me. We also have Abby. She's a new JV specialist on our team as well. She's a rock star as well and hitting the ground running really hard. So reach out to either Abby or Kirsten, and they would gladly help you out from our team and see if there's something that we can do to best help you guys get up and running too. So, All right, so we can apply it. So we're going to filter it down to just houses and multifamily. All right, now this is the magic part of Zillow. Okay, so some people have different strategies. Some people are going to go all the way down here and they're going to say, hey, I just want to see the stuff that's been on the market for 90 days or more. What they're trying to do is target the listings that have hopefully the most motivation. You can do that. If that's what you want to do, go for it. I usually don't really care so much for that. I will leave it to any. And then over here for keywords, this is the magic spot. Is I'm going to go in here for keywords and I'm going to type in fixer. And if I type in fixer, do you see how fast that narrows that thing down? What are we? We've got 17 properties left. Okay. So we've got 17 properties that we can start to go flip through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this one up. So somewhere in this description right here, it says that there's probably a fixer right here. It says TLC. So needing tender loving care, needed with great potential, corner lot, excellent opportunity to a home. Enjoy the spacious living room. Looks like it's got a lot of great stuff about it. Obviously, they're doing their whole pitch. It says it's being purchased as is. This is a perfect fixer-upper for the right investor or family. Perfect. Is that not the investor type home? So one thing I didn't check really fast. How long has this been on market already? 3 hours. So this is a killer deal. All right, there you go. So if you guys are having issues with it being blurry, Kirsten, thank you so much for plugging that in there. So jump over to YouTube, hit us up on there. And if you're having a hard time seeing, then hop on there and that'll make it easier there. All right. And we'll just do this so people can find us either on there. All right. So this is perfect. So Luke, if I was you, I mean, I'm not going to steal your thunder on this one, but I mean, I'd be calling this person up. This looks like it could be a really good opportunity. We'll do the underwriting and comps on it really fast like that. But if we're looking at pictures, it looks like the yard looks like it's actually decently cared for, which a lot of times is not the case. Obviously, the driveway is going to need some type of repairs and fixes there. The yard could use some sprucing up a little bit. The fence looks okay. Maybe a coat of paint. Maybe the fence actually needs help. You can see kind of along the side over here. That's going to have to be fixed up. Inside, obviously the floors need to be redone, but it looks like it's hardwood floors. So you might be able to just, I think it's all just hardwood floors. So you could probably just have them refinished, which would be great. But yeah, man, they got a lot of wear on those floors. So the kitchen actually looks pretty good. I mean, I wouldn't really do a whole lot in here other than to maybe make it look a little more modern. You could, don't even need to, but maybe somebody would go in here and paint these cabinets white just to make it feel a little more open. I know that's the style nowadays. Let's see if there's some closer pictures for the kitchen. Yeah, countertops are kind of this, I think that I can't tell if it's just the reflection. They're super shiny. I can't tell if it's just like a tan color or if it's more of a white color. They've got, you could add a new fixture over here to make it look a little more updated and modern as well. My one hesitation up here is it looks like there might be some water damage onto the ceiling. They do have popcorn ceilings, I think that is, throughout. So there's going to be a couple things here and there. Maybe recenter this light fixture or add additional light fixture in the space. So there's not a whole lot. The kitchen looks pretty good. The floors need some rehab. It looks like the walls, I don't know what's going on with these walls. There's some either nasty grime going on. Maybe that's smoke. I don't know. It looks like there's some black up here too. So maybe it's smoke damage. Maybe these were smokers and we just need some kills in here. Windows don't have any casings. They're also uneven from each other. So maybe you'd want to go in here and put a different window, but you'd probably want to at least case out these windows. And again, we're going to have to do it based off of, I'm just talking out loud right now. It'll be based off of what the other comps in the area look like because you don't ever want to overdo the neighborhood. Fixture doesn't look super old either though. So, all right. Bathroom again, looks pretty darn good. Maybe just add some casing around the window here. Obviously they didn't finish up top. It looks like they set up all the mud work for it, but they didn't finish painting it or something. So maybe this is a rehab partway done and just didn't finish. This room, again, walls look grimy, but the floors actually look pretty good. The fixture looks decent. Yeah, again, I mean, maybe ceiling and walls, but it looks like a lot of paint. And then maybe the casing around the windows. Maybe some new blinds if needed. I mean, this looks like the laundry room. This looks a little creepy, but Yeah. So outside, obviously just getting cleaned up pretty well. Maybe rip out these and put in some new screens just to make it look a little bit fresh. I don't know why they did this siding up until just this point. Put it right here, but yeah, this just needs a really good cleaning and maybe just a couple touches up and fixes their paint a little bit up on the roof section. So really, this is a pretty minimal one, guys. This is looking pretty good. I don't know, like drop in the comments, like, what do you guys think? Like, is this something that you guys would want to take on? Luke, you may have a bunch of buyers popping up in the comments right now. So awesome. So yeah, the backyard, I mean, it's decently well cared for. It doesn't look crazy. Obviously could use probably, I mean, at least laying down some new seed, a little bit of organization back there. But again, I mean, the fence, I know we talked about this already, maybe needs a little bit of addressing. Luke's calling right now. I love it. Yep, give a quick call. So I mean, to me, this one looks pretty good. So now let's see like what it should sell for in the area. So it's listed for $299. So now we're going to zoom way in. Nope, I think I went a little too fast. Now I lost it. There we go. All right, so oh, wrong thing. All right, so I'm going to open it up in another tab. I don't know why I did that. I'm going to open up in another tab because I don't want to get rid of all my other for sale properties on this tab, because I want to be able to reference back to these other ones, see if we've got some other deals here too. So then I'll hop over here. And what we're going to do is we've got this property right here. It's between 58th Street and 62nd Ave. So what we're going to do is we're going to hop over here, say, oh, not for rent, sold. And all right, now we're going to remove, reset all of our filters here. Just apply. We're going to look at everything that we can that's sold for right now. So 58th Street, 62nd. So this is that neighborhood that we were in. So let's go ahead. We're going to remove the previous boundary and we're going to draw a new one just in this section, because I don't want to cross. When you're comping out properties, don't cross major roads. To be honest, I wouldn't even include that one. I would just go right through here. I'm not going to cross these railroad tracks. Who knows? Maybe one side's super sketchy. The other side's great. So we're going to keep it just to this little section right here. So we're going to focus just here. Now, here's the magic. We're going to filter with today's market. I try to look at 30 days first. We only have one. And I think this is like it's an apartment. So not a good comp. All right. So since we don't have anything in the area in 30 days, let's go out to 90. Let's see what that looks like. All right. So we've got 4 comps. That's not bad. So, oh, hey, Carlos, we got a comment over here. If you right click on the tab, right click on the top, then click on duplicate, it will open another tab with the same information. Awesome. Didn't know that. I'm going to pin that because I'm sure somebody else can learn from that as well. Thanks, Carlos. Appreciate it. All right. So we're going to dive in here a little bit. So this looks like it's just down the street. This is sold for $297. To be honest, I would almost say the finishes in the house that we're looking at look better than this one already. And that one sold for $297. So I think the challenge might be is based on initial reaction when I'm looking at some of these. Let's look at our house really fast. So ours is a 3-1, 1,100 square feet. So if we hop over here, this is a 2-1, 800 square feet. Okay, so that's good to know. So this is a significantly smaller house by about 300 square feet, and it's got one less bedroom. It's not finished super fancy. That one sold for $297, and that sold, I forgot to look, back in August. Okay, so market hadn't turned a whole ton just yet. You know what I mean? At that point, it had turned, but we're still kind of going down a little bit. All right, $325. When did this one sell? Also August. This is also a 2-1, 900 squares. So same kind of pocket, but that one sold for $325. All right, 380. So this one's a 4.3 and quite a bit bigger. So this one's even bigger than the one that we're on. However, this one's on a main road. This one's on 58th Street, which I'm sure hurt its valuation a little bit. And I know with Zillow, you can't see all the pictures. I'll show you guys a hack to maybe get around that later. So initially I'm saying, okay, most of these comps that we're looking at, they're smaller. They have one less bedroom. Here's another one, another 2-1. This one sold for $200,000, also in August. Man, all these 2-1s they sold in August. Also in not great shape, right? It's like, it's fine, it's livable, but it's nothing fancy. And then we had the apartment that we're going to ignore that one. Actually, you know what we can do? We'll just filter out apartments, lots, manufactured, condo, townhouse. There we go. All right, so now we're back down to the same exact thing that we had before. So, oops, I think I just removed my selection. All right, there we go. So this is the big thing, is that if we're sitting here looking at this, we're at a 380 for this one. This one's 1,900 square feet. They're asking for this one at 299. So my initial gut is telling me it's going to be, I love it, Luke. Way to be on it. Left voicemail. Perfect. So Luke, if I'm sitting here looking at this one, let's comp this thing out. I know we weren't trying to go full comping on this one, but we're going to do it. So if I'm extending an offer on this one, we've got a 380 right here. It is on a busier street, but because it's a bigger house, I'm going to leave it where it's at. And I'll show you guys really fast the way that we comp this out. We're going to say this one sold for 380. We're going to divide it by the square footage of the home. So 1928. That's going to get us to 197. So I'm just going to make a note of that right here on my pen and paper. And you can build, we have a whole Excel calculator that's going to do this whole thing too, but I want to walk you guys through the manual way of doing it, just because I know when you're starting out, one, it helps your learning, and two, it's good to kind of see the entire process all the way through. So here's one right here. This one is a bigger bedrooms, baths, but a main road. So I don't know. I'm kind of hoping internally maybe those balance out. The main road decreases the value a little bit. Extra bedrooms, baths bumped it up. So we'll see. I wouldn't use that as my main comp, but we'll see. None of these are flips either, which is the hard part. So these are all as is comps. And so we're going to go through and just see what stuff is selling for. So 297, 500. And then we're going to divide that by 824. That one comes up with 361, which seems super high. But maybe I'm wrong, because I think this one actually might be in that same ballpark. So then we're looking at 325, 000 divided by, and this is 912. All right, so 356. And then what? And then we had the other 2-1 as well. It was also an as-is comp. This one sold for 200. So this one's actually going to, I think this is actually good that this one's in there, because it's going to bring down our average a little bit, because to me, it seems like, so far our first one was $197 per square foot, which that was our highest comp price wise, but based on square footage, it pulls it down. Then we've got one for 361. We've got one for 356. So let's see what this brings it to. So we're going to divide this by 944. This one brings us to a 211. So kind of more in the middle, which is, makes me a little more comfortable too. All right. And then the one other thing I'm going to do now too is I'm going to time travel a little bit more just to see if anything else pops up. So we've got, here's a 3-2. Okay. I think we were a 3-2, right? Or is it 3-1? 3-1. So we're a 3-1, 1,100 square feet. This one's a little bit bigger. This one sold for 336. This was back in June. Is that June? Yeah, June. No, May. May. All right. So this was back in May. All right, so this is 336. It looks like it's a good as-is comp again. Same type of style. 290. It looks really clean from the outside. Because I don't see pictures of the inside right now, I don't know if this was a flip or not. So I'll show you one of the hacks to see the inside pictures. So if we go up here, we type in the property address. Don't go to Zillow, but go to Realtor. They tend to keep pictures a little bit longer. And voila, there we go. That's what the inside looks like. So if we dive in here to Realtor, we can see what this one looked like. I thought maybe it was a flip because the outside looks so clean and updated. Obviously, I mean, I hope this isn't a flip. It's not very modern at all. I mean, it's just a clean place. You know what I mean? To be honest, this almost looks like one of those like foreclosed upon properties where the bank comes in. Hey, same exact windows. So this looks like it's standard cookie cutter for the neighborhood. Doesn't have the casing either. And that's one thing too, when we start to look at these other comps, maybe there's really not a whole lot. Maybe it's just paint and floors that pretty much needs to be done. But same type of backyard. To be honest, this is like, it's almost a match for exactly what we're doing, except for the fact that it's one less bedroom and smaller house. So here, let's hop back over here. So this one sold for $290. So, all right, so we've got, let's see what that gives us as an average price per square foot. So if we come in here, we came up with the 197 for the one, 361, 356, and 211. Add that up. And I'll put some parentheses here. And then we've got 4 of them, so we're going to divide it by 4. What we're trying to get is the average. So we came up with an average of 281.25. All right, so now I'm going to go over here and say, all right, the house that we're looking at, to get my ARV, which is our after repair value, I want to know if I take that average price per square foot of all the other homes in this neighborhood that have sold that seem like they're decent comps. Again, they're not flip comps, but they're as is comps. So we're going to see what that looks like. Perfect situation is you see a flipped house that's the exact same model, build, everything else, and it's recent. But we don't have that. So 112 times, and then we came up with a 281.25. That's saying that we're at like a 312. Which I would say, like, my gut feeling is when you look at this, that's pretty accurate. You know what I mean? I think most of them are hovering around. Again, these were 2-1s smaller. These are, oh, hey, Carlos. All right. So that formula is we're trying to get the average price per square foot. Sorry, I went probably a little bit fast there. So we're trying to get the average price per square foot. So when we were going through, we looked at each of these homes. For example, this one right here, we take that price that it sold for. We're going to divide it by the square footage because we want to know how much somebody paid per square foot of that house. And then we're going to do that, try to get 4 to 5 good comps that we feel comfortable with. And then we're going to get that average price per square foot of all those homes. We're going to, we're going to get the price per square foot of all those homes. We're going to add them up and divide it by however many there are to get our average. So for us, we had 4 comps on this one. We had one at a 197, another at a 361, another 356, and another at a 211. Came up with an average after we added those up and divided by 4 of 281.25. And then we times that because that's the average price per square foot of the neighborhood. Then we're going to times that by the square footage of the home that we're looking at right now. So we're going to times that 281.25 by the 1112, and that will give us our 312.750. We could just call it 313. So if you look at it, I actually think that's pretty darn good because if we remove out, if we keep it just at the last 90 days, I mean, we're coming in. This one was probably the most finished. I'm curious what this one looks like on the inside. Let's pull this one up. So we're going to do our little trick, hop over here to Realtor really fast. Why is this one so much higher than some of the other comps? Oh, because this was a flip. So look, brand new appliances. You can tell by the giant sticker. Obviously really clean finishes. The white modern cabinets. Nice floors, vinyl plank floors. Yep. So this was a flip. Same exact model and layout. You know what? This is a pretty darn good comp. So they even stage it and everything. Looks really good. So this is what we should expect for this thing to look like. How much did this one sell for? Was this the one that we did? Let's see, 325. And how many square feet is this? 912. Oops. 356, which makes sense. This was our highest like price per square foot. So, I mean, maybe we could push ours up a little bit more because this one sold for 325. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 912. So, I mean, and we came up with a 281 as our average. But if we were to say, even if we just split the difference between that and this other one, what does that bump us up to? Let's say that we could get to about a 310 or even a 315 per square foot. Times that by our 1112. Just so everybody knows what I'm doing. I'm just kind of guessing in between the 281 that we came up with for the average with a lot of the as is comps and bumping it up a little bit based on this. Like this isn't actually a good flip comp too. So I'm trying to see, okay, how do I feel about this? If we were to move this up, this says that we could get about 350. I don't know if I totally would go with the 350 because I mean, we do have this 325. This one did sell. Nice, Luke. Luke's already talking to the guy. So this one, 325, you know what I mean? It sold back in August, so the market had turned. So, I mean, maybe there is a good opportunity for this one. It says it thinks it's worth 335 already. So, all right, so we've got a relative ARV on this one. What we're going to do is we're going to back in. I don't think we get a full 350. So we're going to just bump it a little. I know originally we came up with 335 or 313. But let's just go 335 just to split the difference to make us feel a little more comfortable. Typically, we'll keep it right where I was at, but for me, my mind is telling me that those weren't flips; those were as is comps. So we're gonna try to bump it just a little bit because I feel comfortable there. And I know this sounds terrible to say, but as time goes on, you guys will realize more and more that some of it just becomes you get used to it and you've done it a million times. And so across the country, the way a lot of people do this is we're going to take our ARV, we're going to times it by 70%. The reason why is because by the time you break out your closing costs, your holding fees, your realtor fees to list it back up on the market, you've usually covered about 15% of that profit is eaten up by all of that at least. And then it leaves you about a 15% profit to be able to, so because you have 30% there, so 15 are eaten up by holding costs, closing costs, realtor fees, everything else. And then it leaves you about a 15% profit margin then. So that's why most people do the 70%. We're going to times it by 70%, then minus out our rehab. Okay, so if we're going to go back to the pictures on this thing, I don't think it'll take a whole lot. The yard doesn't need a massive amount of work. I mean, we probably need to address this driveway. So that's going to be a good amount there. We're looking at the inside. The floors need to all be buffered. We're going to have to redo a lot of the drywall in here. And I'm sure there's just a contingency of some other stuff that's going to pop up. To be honest, the kitchen and the baths already look pretty good. So I don't think that there's a massive amount to do there. This room is kind of creepy. That probably should be addressed. And the outside needs to be a really good cleaning and just taken care of. Maybe the backyard cleaned up a little bit too. But I mean, when we looked at some of the other houses too, they had the same type of thing. So I don't even know if it's worth putting your money into that. So I would say that you're probably looking at about I would conservatively budget at about a $45,000 rehab. So if we take out 45,000, that would say that our purchase price is right at 189,000. Which the challenge is going to be they're asking 200,000, so you're pretty far off. We're off by almost $100,000. So, Luke, that's going to be a little bit of a negotiation going on there. But the other option is you can use some creative finance stuff. We could do, yeah. I mean, the challenge is this one needs some work, but it's not enough work that it would require an investor. So this would be one of them. You'll have to just kind of negotiate and just kind of see if you can get it down there. So. It would be a really quick, easy flip. The roof doesn't look like it needs a whole lot. It looks like it's in okay shape, but just a little bit older. So yeah, I mean, I would put it down there around 189. I'd maybe feel comfortable coming up to like a 190 to give it a shot. And I think you could flip this thing super quick or wholesale that and be able to make some money there too. So numbers pretty far off on that one. So I'd give it a shot. I think Luke, it's great to talk to them and just see where they're at. And see what you can make happen. So cool. All right, let's dive into another one. Is this helpful for people? What are you guys thinking? We're getting some radio silence. Guys, drop in the chat if this is helpful. Awesome, Carlos, appreciate it. Love it. All right, anybody else? Any other thoughts? Hey, Brady, awesome. Love that. I'm glad this is helpful. Okay. All right. Awesome. Perfect. Now it's all coming through. Great. Must be a delay here or something. Cool. All right, Facebook user. Awesome. I don't know who that is, but somebody else said yes. Make sure to go to StreamYard.com/Facebook, and that'll make it so we can actually see who it is that's responding here. Perfect. All right. So really, ultimately, we can just keep going. How are we doing on time? We can just keep going through each of these different properties in that same exact process, right? So now we're looking at this one. Again, what we're looking for is, remember we searched for something like a fixer, right? We've got, that means I'm sure it's popping up in here somewhere that it just needs a little bit of fixes. Or maybe this one was already fixed. Fully renovated, yeah. So this one, I think it says it was a fixer or it was fixed. I don't know where it's pulling the word fixer from, but obviously that's not going to be one that we'd probably be able to do a whole lot with. So move on. Okay. Ooh, this one always, whenever it looks like this, it's good news. I mean, they didn't even bother to take like the mildew off of the garage door. So looking for a fixer upper. Perfect. There is where our fixer came in, right? 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, must see today. Or to do due diligence, verify property. So basically as is. Obviously, look at this thing. It needs work. And that is music to our ears. So again, same type of process, missing all the baseboards, everything else. Same type of process you're going to go through is comp it out the same way that we talked about before, and just keep diving through and finding more and more properties. So this is the way to do it with Zillow. You can go through, I'll give you guys a couple other ideas to plug in here. So fixer, you type in TLC. We saw that on the other one, tender loving care. You know what I mean? Let's see what that pops up. It's a lot of the same one. Oh, there's a couple new ones. You know what I mean? So you got a couple other ones that say they need some TLC. Sometimes with TLC, people will say that if it just needs a little bit of help, it's more of like an on-market property for somebody who wants to take it over, but not a whole lot there. Then if we go through 2, we can do handyman special. Handyman. So if you just type handyman, sometimes it'll say, hey, needs a handyman. So let's see one of these. If we look through this, this will be exciting, fun fixer for any handyman. Yep. So there's another handyman one. So TLC, handyman, flip is sometimes a good one. Fixer, investor. If you type in investor, that's a great one. Sometimes they'll say an investor special or investor property. Let's see what that pulls up. Yep. So there's a bunch of them that popped up as investor. Obviously, if you go in here, let's see this one. What's this one saying? This home is currently tenant occupied. So if you're an investor buyer, okay. So if you come across stuff like this, these are great. You're not going to run your comps in the same way. So just to give everybody a quick little rundown, Kirsten, I just saw your comment about tips for rehab. So there's typical average like price per square foot that you can use. I know I've heard some people using 20,000 for a light rehab, which would be, or sorry, not 20,000, $20 a square foot for a light rehab, which would be like paint and floors. If you're having to do something like paint floors and like a kitchen or a bathroom or something like that, then you're probably closer to an average. And that's going to be closer to like $40 a square foot. If you're going to be up closer to like a lot of work that needs to be done, maybe paint floors, bathrooms, and kitchen, all of it all together, maybe some stuff in the bedrooms, if there's windows or whatever it may be, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. You're probably looking at like 60 to $70 a square foot. And if it's a full gut job, like the whole place should considered be tore down, then you're looking at probably closer to $95 to $105 a square foot. Again, part of it is getting to know your market, because that's going to fluctuate tremendously based off of what's going on in your market at the time. Like you'll realize too that in certain areas, I mean, work might be a little bit cheaper. You might have less expensive labor or easier access to materials. I mean, Montana might be completely different than Tampa, Florida. You know what I mean? It's going to be an extremely different circumstance. And so access to materials, access to labor, it's just going to be a different game. So part of it is learning your market, kind of knowing what's going on there too. And as time goes on, you'll get pretty good about estimating the cost of certain types of repairs. So like for us in a lot of the main markets that we're in right now, we're looking at them and it's about $15,000, I know, on average for a typical sized house roof. And that's about as cheap as we can get it. A lot of them we're getting now closer to about $20,000 a roof. And if the house is bigger than 3,000 square feet, I mean, we're probably looking at closer to like a $30,000 roof. So there's a lot of fluctuation. It just depends on the market you're in and the prices that you're coming up with. And sometimes you can go the really detailed route of getting a list of, hey, this is all the work that needs to be done. And then calling up either a GC or starting to kind of price it out yourself. That is a lot of work to do just to be able to get an offer together. So I wouldn't recommend that. I would recommend taking kind of a rule of thumb and kind of figuring it out that way. So, but what I was saying over here too, if you come across properties that are investor type properties like this, that aren't a flip, because there's really two exit strategies for all of the investment properties, right? As an investor, you're either looking at it as a flip for a short little purchase it, fix it up better, sell it, or you're looking at taking it down, making it some type of cash flow and making it cash flow over a period of time as like a rental, Airbnb, something like that. Obviously, this one with a tenant in place, it's got to be a rental type property. So if you come across stuff like this that they want to work with you, we'll talk about it on a future video, but we'll talk about how to get you guys primed up so that you can pitch the idea of, hey, would you guys be interested in doing some type of creative finance to take this thing over? We buy lots of properties in different ways with tenants in the property, but we typically buy them on some type of terms. Would you like to do something like that? And then you can reach out to Christy or sorry, not Christy. I'm getting messed up by your thing, Kirsten. So you can message Kirsten or Abby on our team. They are absolutely fantastic about getting you guys teed up and helping with some of that pitching terms. And then I'll jump on and I can help out as well. And we'll help teach you guys as time goes on how to get those conversations teed up as well. Awesome. So another example here. All right, really fast before I run out of time though too, I want to make sure that we have this thing up and running in a few different options for you guys. So really fast Zillow, you can do some really cool stuff there. You can do the searches based off of keywords, which I think is super helpful. Remember, Realtor will typically have pictures for longer. So if you're looking at trying to comp out different areas and you're not seeing what the other houses have sold for, what they look like, you can plug them into Realtor. Usually there's pictures here a little bit longer. And then again, the last one, and this one I think is really cool. It just depends on the market you're in because certain places won't have the same information. So if we go to redfin.com, of course it thinks I'm a robot. Well, Redfin's not playing nice. Maybe we won't use it. There we go. All right. So if you go into redfin.com, you can log in and create your whole account. So let's go into, does anybody else have another market that they want to talk about? I know we already threw a bunch towards Luke, so maybe I can share the love with somebody else. What's another market that somebody else is in that we can tee up? I think there must be a little bit of a delay here too, because it seems like whenever comments start to come through, it's a minute or two afterwards. All right. Arizona, Nashville, Arizona's Minneapolis. All right. So we're seeing a couple. All right. Oh, Minnesota. There we go. All right. So we're going to go. I've never done Nashville. So I kind of want to do Nashville for a second, just because I haven't done that one yet. Arizona is a pretty saturated market. There's so many examples out there about how to do stuff in Arizona. So, well, I'm sure we'll do Arizona here on another live very soon, but we'll dive in. And here you go, Robert. We'll give you something here. All right. So hopefully Nashville is one of the markets that actually does what I need it to be able to use this example. All right, so the really cool part about Redfin is that you can go in here and start to do a filter. And if you go here to filters, you can look at all the actives and everything here, and you can scroll down. You can do your keyword search, the same exact thing that we were doing before. And, oh, did they just remove it? Because this looks a little different. There used to be a fixer upper button right here. Huh. Maybe they removed it. So it looks, oh, here it is. Oh, they just replaced it into this. It used to be separated off to the side. So the really cool part is you can go in here, you can do your searches for investor special, anything like that, handyman, whatever it may be. And then right here, if you click fixer upper, what this is doing is it's actually just searching a lot of those same exact key terms that we would be searching ourselves. And it's got a little algorithm that tries to go through and find them all. So you can search. And now you're looking at all the homes that could be fixer uppers. So let's just click through a couple of these. So this 185. So this one, there's like no pictures inside, but just looking at the outside, it probably needs some help. It looks like this is a manufactured home. I'm not positive, but let's read what it says. No flood insurance required. Great fixer in Madison. Yep. So there's the fixer. Get this one before it's gone. Elevation certificate obtained. So it looks, yeah, I think this is a manufactured home. Those are a little bit harder to be able to flip and do stuff like that too. It's probably looking for a more kind of a retail buyer who just wants to put some work into it. Let's find another one. So what about this 270? This actually looks pretty good. Maybe this was fixed. Yeah, that's my guess. Let's see. Great investment or starter home for those looking to get their hands dirty. Only 5 minutes. Getting their hands. Home needs some TLC, so bring it as is. Water heater and rear roof have been recently replaced. Home is being sold as is, entertaining all offers. So they're motivated to sell. This would be maybe somebody who I would reach out to about teeing them up to see if they want to do some type of creative finance or something along those lines. That's what I would do there. Let's go back to our list. Find another one. I really want to find a good example here. But again, I don't know the Nashville market very well. So just done dispo here. All right, here we go. So this one, again, another as-is comp. Not a whole lot of, we need like a dirty one. That just needs like massive repairs. So where do we see like a huge price discrepancy? That's why I thought maybe the 185 would be one, because it was sandwiched between this 312 and 400. Maybe we'll try right here. So we've got a 225 up here, a 310, a 330. What's this one? 299. And then we've got this 196. So let's see what this looks like. Oh, there's an apartment. That's why. I forgot to filter out by property type. So, oh, come on, go back. There you go. Yeah, so you can go up here to home type again with this. I forget to do it usually until I come across one of those properties, but you could just choose house, or I always like to put in multifamily because sometimes you come across really good deals with multifamily too. Yeah. So these are all the ones that are labeled as handyman specials and stuff like that. I haven't really seen any. I mean, this thing probably needs massive. This thing really probably should just be ripped down. It looks like. Well, this would be a good property. Because look at this. The house next to it looks really fancy and nice. And then you got this thing that it almost looks like this is a commercial building. Yeah, I think it might be. Well, I don't know. So who knows? So obviously the inside of this one is nasty and filthy. So this is a perfect example. So obviously it's going through filtering based off fixer uppers. And so the whole reason why I want to show you guys this though really fast was to give you a huge tip, because sometimes, like I said earlier, there's some people who try to go 90 days or older strategy. So they're trying to find the old kind of beaten up leads who they can't make a deal happen. And they're going to come in and give a lower offer and see what we can make happen. The other option is you're the first one to the punch. So we came across that other one earlier that Luke was trying to reach out to as well. Sometimes if you can beat other people to the punch and lock it up first and just really just be the first person there to get an offer to the seller and try to lock it up that same day, then you're great. So the really cool part is if you've logged into your account, you can set up I think because I'm not logged in right now, and I don't really want to set up a notification, but once you're logged into your account, you can set up a notification to go through. So every time a new property pops up that matches that fixer-upper criteria, Redfin will then email you the information on that property. And so if there's a fixer-upper that pops up within your geographic region, and again, if you have a certain market you're looking for, a certain area, draw your boundary, draw it out, and then do your thing here, and then save that as the notification system, because it's only sending you the fixer-uppers in the region that you want. It is a huge hack and a huge tip to be able to really maximize your ability, especially if you're working a W-2 job still, you don't have a whole lot of time. It basically becomes a little bit of a finder for you. Granted, these are all on-market properties, so you are now competing with everybody else who is doing the same strategy as you. So, but it's a massive way to dial this thing down so that you've got a flow of leads that are coming through that you can focus on just the ones that are the most impressive. And because you've got the alert set up and everything else like that, you're going to have stuff flowing through to you to try to be the first one to get on the phone with them, lock it up as quick as you can. And you can still go the route of always, because if somebody else isn't going to lock it up other than you as well, if it makes it to 90 days, then you can still go the route of trying, hey, 90 days or older route. So, all right. Let's open it up really fast. I've tried to dive through really fast a couple little quick tips and hacks to be able to find properties to start to run your numbers on them, just using totally free resources out there between Zillow, Redfin, and Realtor.com. So let me hear from you guys. What are some questions that you guys may have, or any thoughts or feedback or anything like that you want me to go over right now? Because these are all, this is the stuff that starts to this allows you to start to put those offers out there. So make sure that you're putting out consistent offers. If you're not putting out offers, there's no way. It's just like fishing. If you don't have a line in the water, you're never going to catch a fish. So you got to keep throwing your line in the water again and again and again. And that's just putting out offers. And so pure volume or repetition will eventually get you there. And then as time goes on, you start to learn different techniques and skills and finesse to be able to make it so you can convert at a higher and higher level. So, but drop in the comments any questions that you may have. I would love to answer any questions that anybody's got right now. Hopefully this has been of value to some of you guys. This is really actually a lot of the way that I got started as well in my business. We were looking to start out as minimally as we could, and this is what we did. So we plugged it, we went along, we did a lot of on-market properties. We did as much as we could right off the bat, and eventually we're able to shift that from on-market to off-market strategy. We still do a little bit of on-market stuff, but yeah, great stuff. Oh, I love that. Luke. Way to be an action taker. Jump right on the phone. Let us know if we can help you out at all. So reach out to Kirsten or Abby on my team as well. Let us know if we can help you guys. I'd love to see that actually become a deal, and maybe we'll highlight you here on the channel here really soon, that we can talk about the success that came from that. That'd be super cool. So, cool. Also, here we go. Another question. Calculating my offer, the price of reno for price per square foot. That was helpful. Great. I love to hear that. So, cool. Also, I plugged here down below. Make sure to hit us up on social media, all the different channels. We're really pushing hard to get ourselves out there and help out as many people as we possibly can. We're going to be posting different content on different channels at different times. Some of it will be repetitive. We'll try to break it down into different things too, but hit us up. If you go to officialjakecross.com, I've plugged in all my different channels onto that page and tried to set it up so that way you can reach out to us and see what we can make happen with you. But yes, please hit us up down below. However we can assist you, we want you to be successful. That's the whole reason why we're doing this thing, is that we want to make sure that you guys are successful, that you're closing deals, that you're making money. We want to be part of that journey and help see you succeed and make it happen. So please hit us up below. Make sure you subscribe on the YouTube channel, that you comment, let us know what we can be doing, and gives us ideas for future content so we can answer the questions that you guys have. Super appreciate it, and it's very appreciated. So cool. I'm not seeing any other comments right now, so I think that maybe we're good today. I'm hopeful and taking that as everybody learned something really good and they feel happy and satisfied with today. So if there's anything we can do, again, hit us up. That's what we want to do. Our whole goal is to be here to be an asset and a resource to you guys. So cool. Have a wonderful day from myself, Jake Cross, and the Freedom Home Offers team. Just keep crushing it. Have a great day. Bye, guys.